everybody. Excited you guys are here. So I don't know if I have to become a host to be, oh, I can do my screen share. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to first talk to you guys. I'm going to go right to my screen share. I've been a coach, just so you guys know, like 32 months, so a little over 2.5 years. I was just like you at one point in my business. My first year as a coach, I was a 1-star diamond this very time, just like many of you guys. And because of the tips that I'm going to share with you guys today, my team ended up ending the year as a 5-star diamond elite team. So I want to tell you that literally anything is possible. And the stories that were already shared with you, like that's you. You can totally do this. So hopefully some of the tips that I share with you guys can use them all year round. Like this is things that I do all of the time in my business. And it's just something that's on our calendar and stuff that we do. So it doesn't just have to be now. Just so you guys know that you guys can just transform this information and just use it to better your teams. One thing that I don't know is I think it's important for you to think about, what does elite mean to you? And really it's about like your team, leading the way, being that leader, setting the pace, setting the bar, and for your team to recognize that you guys are elite. So a little story, my goal really was not, my goal this year is to be in the top 10, but my team about a couple months ago decided that they wanted to be a top 5 team. This came from my team. So a couple takeaways from this: get your team involved into your goals. Get them really, really excited, because you being an elite coach is representative of your team. It's not you, it's your teamwork. And so this is things that they can use like in their marketing, right? Like we're part of elite team, we're part of elite training. These are the things that, our leaders have used. And that's really, really important when you guys are doing your posts and recruiting for coaches. And so, my team, their big thing is like, I don't want to say that I'm an X number team. Like I want to be a top 10. I want to be a top 5 team, because this is going to attract leaders into our business. This is going to affect our income. This is also going to affect the quality of people that we work with. So it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect you. And so everybody kind of has different ideas, but for me, that's really what elite means, and that's what's trickled down into my team as well. So think about, what does elite mean to you? And then share that, with your team, and let them know that this is something that we're going to be doing together. This is not something that is me. Because my team, I am actually like in one of the middle cars right now when it comes to my team. I've got so many engines pulling this thing along. It's just, I have a different team now. So you get everybody involved, you guys are going to see so much more momentum than you just as a leader trying to tug people along. And I did that last year for top 10. I felt like it was just this exhausting feeling of tying people along. And I really started working on team culture, and I really started to work on how I could be a better leader, all different kinds of books on your tribes. And I just read so much over the last year, and it's completely changed my team. So if you guys are having troubles with that, that's some other things you guys can do. But I'm going to go into my screen share because I do have a lot of information to share with you guys tonight. I'm going to try not to take up your time, but as I was preparing the slides, there's just so many good tidbits. So I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot of questions. I can answer some questions at the end, but then why don't we start like a thread in the elite page, and then I can just go through there and answer all your questions there too, so you guys have them all in writing. Okay? All right, so let's go into the screen share here. Give me a second. All right, can you guys see my screen? Hear me okay? Okay, all right, awesome. So if you guys don't know, I'm Alyssa Schomaker. I'm a superstar diamond coach, and I'm excited for you guys to be here because this is something that I'm really passionate about, and I want you guys to be able to achieve this in your business. Okay, so first of all, I firmly believe that mindset is everything. To me, you have to have discipline, but mindset and going into something is, to me, absolutely everything. For example, we just had our best month in September. And I really believe that it's because you control your mind and you have your coaches thinking at such a positive wavelength that anytime somebody wants to, kind of join into the misery party of I'm stuck at 4, oh, this is so hard, or whatever else. I have my team is basically saying, no, you have to change your thinking. And we've decided that our team page is not a place for that to happen. You can think that way if you want to, but you're not going to spill your negative energy into our team page where we're supposed to be having positivity. It doesn't do anything for you. You're bringing down the whole morale, and it's not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so belief is really everything as far as I'm concerned. You have to seriously believe that you're an elite coach. Be writing down, on your goal boards, or you maybe have a vision board on top of like your business activity tracker, I am an elite coach, and really say that with affirmations over and over and over again. The other thing is that your team has to believe too. Okay, you have to be just giving so much love into your team and letting them know that, sharing what it is, how you're feeling, sharing your failures and your setbacks and how you've overcome those things, and invites that you're doing, and, spending some time to send little voice messages or send little cards. Or I am like a huge gift giver. It's what I love. It's my love language. But I love to just send people little messages and let them know that it's okay. And so sometimes we have to go back to what it was like when we were a new coach and we were scared to send out an invite. We didn't know how to talk to people, and really breathe that belief into your team as well. So if your team doesn't know already that you're going to be an elite coach, part of your job is going to be instilling belief. So during this time, your personal development has to be like on overdrive, and realize that this is a season of push. Okay, you cannot push for super long in your business, but right now, for this particular time, you are going to be committing to a push. And that means clearing your schedule of some things, really having that mindset, talking to your partners, talking to your family, letting them know that, I'm not going to be committed to X, Y, and Z at this time because this is really important to me and this is what they can do. So make sure you guys have that partnership as well during this time, and why it means something, so that your family doesn't get necessarily really upset with you during just the short burst of period, this short time that we have here. Okay. All right, so the next thing obviously is like speeder, the leader, the speed of the pack. You guys all know this. You guys are leaders. You have to set the bar in your team. Okay, so you've got to be hitting Success Club. You have to be leading the way. You have to be trying new things and showing them what you're doing, that you're failing forward, but that you are constantly raising the bar higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay, so that is the one thing, is that your coaches are going to duplicate what you're doing. So sometimes we got to take a look at ourselves. If we're not inviting, if we're not doing our personal development, if we're not, trying out new like social media platforms or leading team calls or doing any of these things, then we need to start doing them if this is what we want our team to do. Okay. So those are my first two things I want to talk about there. All right, so I just want to quick break this down. I don't know. Hopefully everybody understands what it means to be elite and what you have to obtain. So I'm not going to go into this too much, but the points that I'm going to talk about later on, we're going to refer back to this. Okay, so first of all, everybody has to have 135 elite points by December 30th of 2015 to qualify to be an elite coach. So yes, you guys have plenty of time to get your elite points. Okay, you guys get these reports on the second Friday of every month. They will be coming sooner. I don't know when, but towards the end of the year, you guys will start getting them weekly. So just kind of be aware of that they will start coming in a weekly manner. But, you have to be a 5-star. Okay, so we have to have at least 5 diamonds. 2 of those diamonds have to be brand new diamonds in 2015. Okay, so you have to have 2 new diamonds. The other 3 levels that they really look at is the incremental ATV. This is calculated from 3 levels down in your organization. Every time that volume hits 10,000 or higher, you're going to get 1 point. Okay. The second number that they're looking at is the personally sponsored coach PV. Okay, so whenever a 2015 personally sponsored coach gets 500 PV or higher, you get a point. And this is cumulative. Okay, so say you signed up a new coach and they had 140 PV. Okay, and then they had like 3 more challenge pack sales. That's going to give them 1 point. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like in your weekly drill down, that one coach with just 500. Okay, so I just want you to know that, because a lot of people think it has to just be like when you do the recognition, the people that are getting 500, and it's not. It's cumulative. The last thing is personally sponsored coaches success club. This is from 2014 as well as 2015 coaches. Whenever you hit success club, your points are going to double. And I can put this slide into the team page if you guys want to share it with your coaches, or just have it even for a reference. So this is what you need to have by the end of the year. Okay, so one of the things that I really think is really important is reverse engineering your goals. So what I have my coaches do is I'll have them run a drill down report, okay? And I want them to identify, first of all, who are their diamond coaches, who are their coaches that they think could be diamond or they think that they could really run with. And then also be looking at, how many coaches do you need? Because for 5-star, you have to have 20 coaches. Okay. Also be looking at what you can control. If you have that second business center, you know that you can control that. Maybe you can help your husband in the business and you know that you can control that as well. And so kind of be aware of what you can control, who your runners are in the business, and then identify, try to go more than 5 if possible. Now, if you're looking at me right now and you're thinking, well, I'm a 2-star diamond, I only have one other person that I know that can do it. Where am I going to find these other diamonds? I'm gonna talk to you about some things that you guys can do, because it's not just about looking at your current coach list. In fact, the year that I went 5-star and elite, 2 of my coaches were recruited right around now, and they're the coaches that went diamond. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that during that time. But just realize that your new coaches are the ones that are coming in, guys, and they are the ones that are bringing that fire. They've got the energy, they're positive, they're all amped up, they haven't been beat up by the haters yet, dragged through the mud, whatever else. So they've got so much energy that you can really sometimes click with these coaches and run them along a lot faster. Okay, so it's a lot easier to work with a new coach that wants to have a diamond goal than it is a coach that's been in the business for a while and has really struggled. Okay, this is from my personal experience. Your businesses might be different, but this is what I've recognized in my business. And to preserve energy and understand where my energy has to go, this is one thing that I really identified. Okay, so this is an example of one of my coaches just giving, kind of her rundown of what she has, what coaches and where, what it is that she would need. So this is something that you guys can do as well. Okay, so the first thing really is like developing your diamonds. So I'm going to break this down into different areas, but let's talk about developing diamonds first, okay? To be a diamond coach, in my mind, it's really a mindset. And I tell my coaches all the time that diamond is really easy. So this is something that I have all of my coaches from day one, they're looking at 2-star and above already. Diamond is really like the new emerald as far as I'm concerned. It's not very hard. If you're doing the vital behaviors, there's no reason why you can't go diamond really fast. And it's just, diamond is not something that's really hard. I feel like we put this standard on diamond because it gives you different star diamond rankings. But when you change the mindset of what you're going to be telling and breathing into your coaches, everything changes. So start telling your coaches that 2-star is where the magic happens. 2-star is really what they want to be achieving. And obviously celebrate it along the way, but always have them looking forward. Okay? So a couple of the things that we do to develop diamonds on our teams. We run push to diamond groups. They're a little bit different. We actually do them we run. So we take about 2 to 3 weeks. And in that, like I mentioned before, that short burst of time, all I do is I have them all in a message thread. So if they say there's 8 girls that are in a message thread, they're all really close to diamonds. I put them in there. And they all feed off one another's energy, okay? And so instead of just putting in tips on how to go diamond, because like I said, it's kind of like running a 10-day emerald group, right? Just sign up 2 people. It's not that hard. This is the same thing with diamond. And I don't feel like you need to even have a lot of skill to become a diamond coach, because if you can become emerald, you can become diamond. You've already done the skills to become an emerald coach, to what it makes to become diamond. So these little groups that we run, we just say like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a really big burst of push so that they can see the beginning and the end of it. They know it's not going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. And then they just celebrate each other's success. Like, you know, I'm going to sponsor a new coach, or I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And so over the last 3 weeks, I've had 4 new diamonds pop just from doing this kind of like really short bursted group. And I have a Ruby today, and I've just got a lot of coaches that are super, super close to diamond by doing these little groups. Okay. The other thing that you can do with your team is 20-30 groups. It's based off of Eric War's principles about recruiting 20 coaches in 30 days. This is another group that you can do. It's basically like just a coach recruitment group, right? So what do you have to do? You've got to put the opportunity in front of more people. You got to challenge yourself to just invite, give love, give life, you know, repeat just on top, like but just for the 30 days. And then what we've been doing in ours, because again, you know how to recruit, right? So everybody knows how to recruit. We've got different, you know, sneak peeks and things that we can put our coaches into, but this is a way to get more of a mass amount of people into your group, which is really important for you guys right now, because it's basically numbers, right? The more coaches that you can bring in, it's like you're bringing in like a barrel of apples. You're looking for those seeds, guys, like in between the apples. That's what you're looking for when it comes to running coaches. So, you know, it's not that some people think that they don't attract leaders. It's the fact that you have to be talking to a lot of people to find the diamonds in the rough. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, okay? You're going to do hard things. You're creating a dream life. Not that many people are going to get uncomfortable to be able to visualize their dreams, first of all, but really run and put the work in that they need to have happen to create literally a life of freedom for themselves. Okay, so this is why the 20-30 groups are really, really great. We don't do calls in this group at all. We upload like all different kind of scripts that we use. We at least have a coach opportunity call or some kind of glance group every single week. So there's something that they can invite to as well. And then what we do is like once a week, instead of just having like a group, we'll have like a little party. So like an online party, like with the coaches that like recruited 5 coaches that month. And it's something that people want to be involved in. So we'll bring like, you know, like a glass of wine, and it'd be like a girls' night kind of virtual, like a virtual girls' night. And of course, like everybody wants to go to girls' night, right? There's like, you don't want to be the person that's not going to go to girls' night. So those groups work really well for that as well. All right, and then make sure you guys have your accountability buddies. And then what I think is awesome is, so instead of taking the pressure like on my coaches, I'm like, okay, you go find the people, and basically I'm like the rudder in the back end, and I'm running these 10-day to push to emerald groups for them so that they can be out in the front, they can be recruiting their coaches, talking to people, giving love, adding value, and then I can be in the back and I can be running these emerald groups for everybody so that they don't have to worry about creating the emeralds. So that's something that you can do as a leader is, you know, run at least once or twice a month these 10-day to emerald groups. And as you're trying to get your diamonds, you know, our diamonds have to pop within like the next 7 weeks, right? Because by November 18th is when we need to have these diamonds in place. I would run at least 2, maybe 3 of these. And just every other week, do a 10-day to diamond group. You know, take your whole downline, take the coaches that you know really need to have their emeralds, and just work with everybody. And then that's one less thing that they have to focus on. Okay. All right. So elite points. I personally, I only focus on Success Club. I don't focus on volume. I don't focus on the ATV. I know that if I have more coaches hitting Success Club every month, it's going to drive my volume and it's going to drive the ATV. I'm a very simple person when it comes to that. You could get on a call with other coaches and they're going to tell you, you know, how to break it down and how much volume you're going to need. I don't run my business that way. So I run it we focus on Success Club. Okay, so part of that is I run challenge groups every 2 weeks with my new coaches. I run mine like as a team. You can have like about 30 people per group, but I'm always coming up with the ideas. I have a team calendar. I give them things to invite to. So for example, we're doing, a fit for fall group and we're doing a hot for Halloween group. I'm basically saying, these are the 2 groups that we're going to be running. Here's the team calendar, so they have constant things to invite to as new coaches. I provide scripts for them, ideas for them. I just make it really easy, like I said, for them to invite right away. Also, I feel like setting the standard for Success Club within your team and in new coaches is so important. So again, it's kind of like how I talked about becoming a diamond. You tell your coaches that Success Club is easy because Success Club is easy. And if you're telling your coaches this right off the bat, they're going to think in their head, Success Club is easy. If you're doing the vital behaviors, you're always going to hit Success Club. So Success Club, if you start it right away, is that Success Club is easy. And then as soon as they sign up, you have their getting started right call. I have them make a list of potential people that they want to invite, and they start inviting right away. So they're going to have these wins. They're going to have these people that are going to join them right away. They're going to have that success. Most of their coaches are going to be able to pay off their challenge pack from the money that they've made. And then you have everything all set up on basically for what groups they can invite to. So it makes it really easy. Just giving them the confidence is so important in that first month of their business. But just set it up so that it's non-negotiable for your team. And they understand that this is something that you have to do if you want to run a successful business. Okay, mini cup challenges, that's another great way that you guys can kind of focus on elite points. I know that we do have the fall classic that's going to be coming up, but say you wanted to really needed some more elite points towards the end of the year, you guys can run like mini cup challenges, mini challenges within your teams as well. Any kind of time you have that kind of competition, that really helps. I think the important thing with that is that the coaches that might not really like competition that much, that you're talking to them and, rewarding them in other ways. So instead of, congratulating them on like what their elite points are, but you're maybe talking about how they were so helpful in the team, what great leadership skills they're distributing, maybe how their posts are on social media, that tends to drive those kind of coaches a little bit more, and they actually produce more when you work with them that way. The last thing you guys can really do is those go for no challenges. So basically, having a page of 30 no's or 100 no's, we tend to do the 100 no's, and then it has to actually be a no. It can't just be somebody doesn't respond to you, but once you have 100 no's, then, that coach wins a prize. Most of the time when that happens, your coaches are going to be able to hit Success Club that way as well. All right, and this is just something that I give to all of my new coaches, but I just wanted to show you, like, right away in here, it's a little checklist that I make for my coaches. It talks about, like, you're going to learn about what Success Starters is, you're going to learn what Emerald Rank is, and you're going to be hitting Success Club, and then to practice the vital behaviors every single day in your business. And I think this is something that they get right in their welcome email. So I'm setting it up and I'm identifying what they need to achieve right off the bat. And again, it's setting the standard. You want to set the standard up front. This is the way you run a business. Okay, if one of your elite things that you need to achieve is boosting volume, here's some ways that you guys can boost volume in your business. So coaches are the company's best customers. You can, go out and you could run different things or try to attract more people. But truth be told, we are the company's best customers. So running like team-wide 3-day refresh groups is really, really great. Also, like doing those like twice a month, or a good example would be right after Halloween, when everybody's eating junk would be a good one, right after Thanksgiving. So those are 2 that you guys can kind of put into your schedules as far as 3-day refresh groups go. And then also like around the product launches. Product launches are huge, huge, huge business boosters. First of all, every single one of the coaches, I don't care what programs it is that you do, this is your business. You are basically a rep for the company. You have got to know the products and you've got to have the products. Now, I'm not saying like buy everything and like fill your basement up with a bunch of junk. That's not what the point is. The point is that you have to be able to talk about what it is that you want other people to use. Even if you don't want to do that particular program, you should at least put the DVD in and watch it so that you can understand how you're going to explain it to somebody else. Instead of just watching different videos that you might get from the back office, the best thing and the way to really create integrity is to actually try the products, okay? So I feel like that's really, really important. So whenever a product launch comes out, I tell all of my coaches, like, everybody has to get hammer and chisel. We've got to get hammer and chisel. You got to talk about it. And then running like, a specific team hammer and chisel test group, right? So it's just everybody within my team page. We're all doing hammer and chisel. It's like a coach-led challenge group. That really boosts volume as well. And just a little like kind of hint on that too, like right now with hammer and chisel coming out, last night in my team page, we were talking about like, if you don't have the club membership, you better get the club membership, because Hammer and Chisel is going to be debuted tomorrow, and you want to be one of those coaches that's online is talking about it. I mean, the whole thing is we all have the same products, but you want to be the person that people are like, wow, she tried Hammer and Chisel. This is why like being in a test group is so, it's like such a big lift in your social media is ever going to hear. So this used to just be available to elite coaches, and now they have it available to the club members. So now our customers get to try it as well. You get to be a coach to really use the product before anybody else, and kind of use that splurge on social media within your blogs and everything else. So I just wanted a quick touch on that. But those are some things that you guys can do within your teams to really boost volume. All right, so this, I don't know what happened, but it's all right, we'll flow with it. So recruiting coaches. So I feel like you should post about coaching all the time. Sometimes you'll hear like maybe, I don't know, just say it like once or twice or whatever. Where you guys are at in your business, like coaching is your life. It has affected you in so many different ways, from the fitness to the personal development to the community. I mean, it's your family, like it's everything. You're immersed in it. So how can you tell our coaches don't talk about coaching all the time on social media when this is awesome? And how do you not talk about it? But you can also not talk about it in a traditional way, right? Where you're just always recruiting all the time. Nobody wants to see that. But what it's done for you as far as support, right? What it's done for you as far as keeping you accountable to your goals, to the personal development that you are starting to do now. It doesn't have to be straight in your face, an income statement or anything like that. There's so much more to coaching than just an income. I always feel like my biggest blessing is my team and the individuals that have been brought into my life. And they are the ones that have like completely blessed me. And I don't know what I would do if they were taken away. I hate to say if Beachbody was taken away, like that would suck, because it would. But to me, like my team, they're like my family. And if that whole thing were to go away, I don't know what I would do. And so you have to realize that there's so many more things to talk about. So talk about it all the time on social media. Just think about different ways that coaching is impacting your life beyond just this job and this opportunity and whatever else. So kind of sneak it in there. The other thing is creating posts looking for your rock stars. Okay, so I do this during these kinds of times. I have my coaches doing this as well. But creating posts where you are looking for your next rock star coaches. Okay, you are looking for people that you want to run with. They're going to do, a quick 6-week burst with you. They're going to get to diamond. You're going to help them. You're looking for people that you can just grab your hands onto and just go with. If you create those kind of posts, you're going to find rock stars. It's like what you put out there is what you're going to get back. So I always say, I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for motivated individuals. I'm looking for people that want more, because that's what my advertisement is. So when you do that and you say, I'm looking for, these rock star coaches, those are the kind of people that you're going to get back. And I believe that is how last year we went from, 8-star to 15-star in one qualifying period for Superstar Diamond at the end of the year. And then the year before, when we went from 1-star to 5, it's because of these kind of posts, really putting out there what it is that you want to attract back, and then taking just those select few and running with them. Okay. All right. So the other thing is you're going to have like more, like a mass amount of people. Okay. For this last part of the quarter, your little, like your 3 or your 5 people that you're connecting with on social media is not going to work. You've got to increase how many people you're adding into your network, how many contacts you're making. I say in my business right now, I'm making about 15 new contacts a day. 10 of those are on Instagram, 5 are on Facebook. It takes time. I'm not somebody to just cold market or send somebody a cold message. So I have to build a relationship with these people before I invite them. So I want to make sure I have real relationships. The thing is, and what I love about Instagram, for example, is that you can really find like who your dream coaches are. you know, you can search by the hashtags and the things that you like the best, and then find those people and then just naturally build a relationship with them. I'm not saying, you know, hey, beautiful, or love that shot, or leaving any kind of things like that, but like genuine and authentic messages so you can really connect with others. And then, you know, when you have your sneak peeks or something like that, you can invite them to that. So this is why you always have to kind of be building these relationships all along. I basically just have an Excel spreadsheet, so I know who's on there, who I'm building relationships with, whose timelines I need to pop over to. Same thing on Instagram, who I need to be following up with over there. So you guys can do that way on Instagram with the hashtags. The other way you can really find just quickly your dream coaches is who are you following? Who are the things that you really love? And you can start following like some of these celebrities of people that you really love or something that you really love. For example, we'll just say Shailene Johnson, although this is not a good example because most of you guys are probably coaches, but let's just say you're following Shailene Johnson and you can start building relationships with her, right? You already know that they like Shailene. Okay. Same thing with any of the people we follow for personal development. Like you could follow like Brian Glancy or whoever you want to, and just start following these people that are going to have some of your interests as well. I love to follow the pages of different people that do personal development because I know that if they're hashtagging that or they're following it, that they're already elevating who they are as an individual. And so I'm able to find, I feel, a lot more leaders that way. Another thing that you guys can do to really add more people is those free groups. And it doesn't really have to just be, you know, like a 5-day clean eating group. It can be anything like a pay it forward type group. It could be like a gratitude challenge. I know that some coaches have done different free financial groups, things like that. But whatever is really like your interest, right? So it could be absolutely anything. You can run these free groups and then invite them to invite their friends to it too. So then now you have even more contacts, right? And because of that, they're going to learn who you are, which is really, really important, that they learn who you are, that this isn't about money, that you're able to connect like in a really natural way. They're going to be friends with you now on Facebook. And then as you're doing these jabs, these people are going to be some of the people to reach out for some of your posts and also for you to be able to invite to. So those are some ways you guys can add to your network that just works really well for me and my team. And then these are just the different groups you guys can invite them to. So we do 3-day glance groups is what we do on our team. We figured out that the 5-day groups were just way too long. We would lose a lot of people within the group. So we do 3-day glance groups. We do those every 2 weeks. You can also do a live coaching event. We just started doing this not too long ago, and this is a really great way to be able to do this. You basically just set up an event page on Facebook, and every 6 minutes, a new video is played. So for example, say we said our call was going to be Thursday night at 9 o'clock. They show up into the event page at that time. Every 6 minutes, a new video is posted, and then they just have to refresh their browser to see the new video. And during this time, like all the coaches are in there, everybody is commenting and messaging, and it's just like this big event party. So it's got a lot of energy. They can kind of feel a little bit more than what can kind of happen in the glance groups with them being spread out over time. And so this is something that we've been doing, and they work awesome. So I really like that too. And then the coach opportunity calls, we kind of do like the Q&A calls. We still do those like at the last day of our glance groups. So we can do like a push for like a 3-day glance group, have everybody in there. But then like on the last day of the glance group, we'll have a Q&A call. And in the Q&A call, we'll be able to do like more posts on social media about it. So you might even be able to bring more people that weren't even into the group into that call as well. And then we give away like little prizes for people that show up within the call too. So as we're doing the calls, and we'll have like a little, whatever, some Shakeology samplers or different things like that for people that sign up and are engaged. So that's another thing that you guys can do. I think the tip is, put the opportunity in front to 10 to 20 people a day. You've got to be really focused on just inviting for coaches at this point and getting the opportunity in front of many people. So remember, you guys are looking for those seeds within that apple, right? You're looking for the gold in the backyard. You got to keep inviting, keep inviting, keep inviting, keep inviting. All right, and this is really my last slide, but I just wanted to say that, you know, this is a season of hustle in your business. This is not something that is going to be happening, you know, for a long term. This is something that you're doing for a short burst of energy. And this momentum, you guys are going to create because you're going to give it your all. You're going to be determined. You're going to be focused. This is really setting you up for the first quarter of your business. Like, this is why so many coaches will, you know, hit elite at the end of the year. For example, my team last year hit elite, or the year before hit elite, and then we jumped right up into 17th place in January. And it's because we had such this drive, such this momentum going from being trying to get to the top 5, that it pushed our whole business forward into the first quarter. So out of any quarter in the whole year, like, this is the quarter that you do not want to slack. This is the quarter where you pull up your pants and you go crazy, as hard as you can possibly go to the end of your deadline, and you will reap so much reward in January because your momentum is just flying so high. It's like a runaway train. So no matter what you do, give it your all. If you don't hit your goal, don't beat yourself up, but realize that because you didn't quit, that you moved your business that much forward. And in 2016, it's going to be like a runaway train for you guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll stop my share, and I can take a little bit of time to answer any questions you guys have. There you go. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Alyssa.
Yeah.
Cody, I have a question. This might be silly, but can one of the diamonds, so I am 5-star, but I need another coach to advance. Can it be in my second business center?
Yes.
Okay. And then do I need to hold it again for another 6 weeks in the fourth quarter? And I'm sure I could look.
You just have to have 2 new diamonds at the end of the year.
Okay. And you just have to be 5-star on December 30th as well, like current rank.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I was thinking about it as you were talking. I had another question, but I'll let someone else go because I have to find it.
Okay.
Hey, Alyssa, I have laryngitis. This is Lilius. I posted a question in the chat regarding how you run your team groups, your challenge group with your coaches.
Okay, so this is what I always do. So my team is very unique. We're all a bunch of busy working professionals. My team particularly is nurses. So my team is basically healthcare and nurses. So I have some stay-at-home moms, but basically they're people that have left their jobs to do Beachbody now. And so when I was a new coach, my coach is a stay-at-home mom. And so I was basically allowed to do one group with her, and then I had to do my own groups. And I hustled to make sure I got my groups, but it was really, really stressful because I was working 3/12s. You know, I'm so tired. I don't get home probably after 14 hours of work. And like having to check into my challenge groups was like the last thing that I wanted to do at the end of the day. So what I do with my team is we have just like a Google Drive that we all use. And so say, for example, you know, October 5th, we're going to have a group that runs. They put their name down. They put their challenger's name down as well. And then they put what program. And then we just split the groups up into however many groups we need to form, with like average between 20 to 30. I try to keep it to like 25 people, but and about 3 to 5 coaches per group. So it just kind of depends on who's what. And then we all just run our groups together. So we've got a different template that we use, and people can just sign up to take a week. So say we have 4 coaches in the group, you know, I might take preseason and then another coach might take the next week, but we all just support and motivate each other's coaches or challengers, I'm sorry. So we're like just a big team that works together, and it just takes off so much stress from everybody that's working these, you know, 12-hour jobs in the healthcare. So.
Alyssa?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, Barbara, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had said November 18th. That's when we have to be 5-star qualifying.
Yes. Yes.
The second one is 3 coaches have been to the last, I would say, month and a half, 2 months, that have literally like 1 or 2 emeralds away from diamond, and then they're just not like going for it. And I do the emerald groups where I put their coaches into my Success Starter. I do a 7-day Success Starter Emerald group, and I do all that for them. I guess I'm just wondering, what is the best way that you would go about some push to diamond group, the ones, and I said, okay, we're going to do like a 10-day push, you know, doing 10 days, you're all so close, you know, and it's
Well,
just.
Here's what I have to say about that. There's nothing that you can do. There's nothing, and I'm like a tough love kind of coach is the way that I kind of practice, but honestly, you need to find new coaches. Those coaches might go diamond, but they're not somebody that wants to push. They're not motivated by that. You have to be working with other coaches, point blank. It means you got to recruit. So you can't ever push somebody into diamond. Diamond is literally a decision. So if they're not doing it, then you got to work with other people. And I have found that when you back away from them and you don't give them the attention, kind of like a toddler, this whole business is psychology. But anyways, if you kind of pull away from them, you don't give them the attention that they're desiring, and you're focusing on other people, those coaches are going to rise to the occasion because they want your attention.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alyssa, do you do weekly mentoring calls with all of your personally sponsored coaches that show potential? And like, how do you choose?
I do not know. My coaches have to hit Success Club, or I do not do calls with them because Success Club is doing the vital behaviors. And so if you're not doing the vital behaviors, then I cannot mentor you beyond that. You've got to be at least working on yourself first, right? So I can provide motivation to them. I can provide all of that, you know, different things, but they've got to at least be doing the vital behaviors, or there's not much that I can help them with. You know, I can't help them with their posting. I can't help them with their inviting and where they're going wrong if they're not doing it. And so this is something that I instituted with my team at the beginning of the year. And your coaches will rise. They'll rise up. They'll rise up to the occasion. And I just find ways to congratulate them in other ways. You know, so my coaches that might not be hitting Success Club, I still will, you know, look to see. I kind of have like a banner like in my team page. So there's different ways that I can recognize them. You know, are they being present on social media? Are their posts getting really good? Are they adding a ton of value into our team pages? You know, just other ways that you can congratulate them and lift them up. But they're not going to get my one-on-one time until they're hitting Success Club and doing what they have to do.
What about coaches of your personally sponsored coaches? So say like I have a coach who isn't working the business and isn't supporting their coach, and their coach shows great promise, like wants to go diamond. Do you support those coaches then?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I will work with anybody in my downline that wants it. I mean, I have a lot of kind of abandoned coaches within my business, and I treat them like they're my own coaches. Okay. So yes, I count them because they need to feel and get the mentorship as well. So yes, if they are rising up and they're hitting Success Club and acting like the leaders and the girl bosses that they should be, then yeah, I do calls with them as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question. It goes back to what you were saying before. I work in healthcare. I work full time right now, pushing for elite. Sometimes it feels like there's not enough time in the day to spread to everything, to like do everything. So what would be your advice to focus on the most to someone who works full time and also does Beachbody?
I would say inviting is what you need to be doing right now. Is just get literally like spreading your seeds as far and wide as you possibly can, really upping those numbers, and then getting your coaches to help you with some of those groups. You know, you don't have to be the only one that's running the push groups or the glance groups or anything like that. Empower your team to step up as leaders and to help you with those things. And they'll be grateful that you saw that within them and that you trusted them with that process. And it's going to really help with their leadership as well. So delegate as much as you possibly can during this time. If you don't have an assistant already, by the time you're 5-star and elite, you're going to want to have an assistant anyhow because you just can't possibly pick up with your business. I have 2 assistants right now as well as a social media manager, and I can't even still keep up if I wanted to spend the time that I want to spend with my family. Like I didn't come into Beachbody just to work all of the time. So start delegating as much as you can now as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. The 10 people that you are adding on Instagram daily and connecting with, at what point and like what is the best way to transition those people over to your Facebook page?
So I will, message, like, I do like direct messaging, but a lot of times like just within like the conversations that I'm having like on their pages, because I really am engaged with these people. So I know like what's going on with them. I have a relationship built with them over this, 2-week period of time, that when I do something, say I do a post about a sneak peek or a post about a coach up or whatever, those are the people that will mostly respond. But if they don't, and I just want to send like a direct invite, I feel like the simpler is the better. So it's half the time my invites, what I say is, hey, I know this might seem really awkward, but you're somebody that I really enjoy like working with. I do Beachbody coaching. I'm looking for people just like you on my team that I want to mentor. I am starting a coach, whatever, mentorship program or camp or whatever you want to call it, like on Monday, and I have however many people you have. So like right now this is the message that I'm sending out to all of my prospects, for example. I have 12 coaches right now. I'm looking for 15, and I was really hoping that you would be open to learning more information about this. And, I sent out 10 of those this morning, and I have 3 people who have given me their emails and they want more information. So that's a pretty good ratio of what you're going to get back. You might not get them all the time. Some haven't even seen the message yet. But once you extend that offer to them, and you've built the relationship and you're not just spamming them, they want to hear what it is that you're doing. The other thing is, in your, like if on Instagram, in your URL, whatever you have promoting at the time. So say you did like a blog post, for example, you could do like one of the bit.ly links and have like the link to the blog post about your coach up in the, where you would put the URL for a website. Or you could also do a bit.ly link for your group for Facebook's like sneak peek, right? So if you want to join, click my link and it's going to take them to the Facebook page where your group is being held. So it's one less like step. They basically can click on it and then click add, and then you can add them. So that's another way, instead of having to lose them from, Instagram to Facebook Messenger to, wherever, or Instagram to email to the group. This way, just have the link right there in your website URL at the top of that page, and they can go right towards your group. So that's another way to really do that too.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. I think I might shut off the questions as of now. I know we have about 8 minutes left, so I want to respect everybody's time and especially yours. But I know you mentioned at the beginning that in the group, if you guys have questions, please feel free to go in there, ask them. Alyssa will be in there to answer, correct?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I think it's obvious to me and Pearson there's a reason why you are a number 7 in the whole entire company. I mean, you have what it takes, Alyssa. You are very direct. You are real, which is awesome. And just us talking back and forth here while you were talking, I think a lot of coaches need to find that within themselves. I feel like a lot of coaches need to find that confidence. Personal development definitely helps, but it's okay to be direct. It's okay to set expectations. It's okay to have that accountability. And if you aren't there yet, you need to get there towards the end of this season, right? As Alyssa talked about, which I love. This is a window of opportunity. You have 3 more months. Let's do this. Let's go hard so that not only you're going to end the year great, you're setting yourself up for an awesome 2016, just like Alyssa mentioned. So Alyssa, just to kind of, wrap this call up, I would love it if you could maybe give this group 2 action items to leave this call with.
All right, I think your 2 action items should be this. I think that you need to set a goal for yourselves by the end of the week, and how many how many people you're going to set out the coaching opportunity to. Set a goal, set it high, challenge yourself on what it is that you want to achieve, because no matter what in this business, you're going to control the controllables, and controlling the controllables in my eyes is how often I can put the opportunity in front of other people. So regardless of what anybody else does, I can control that. So I think that's a really good thing for you guys to do. Set your bar high, determine a number, and don't stop inviting until you hit that goal this week.
Fabulous. Okay.
I know that was only 1, but that's kind of like a push goal for everybody, because nobody likes to invite. And I feel like once you have the security and you get to meet really awesome people and people start telling you yes, you're going to do it more and more and more. And your business is just going to grow because you're not going to be scared about presenting the opportunity to people.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to add one more to that. So you guys have two. I want you to think about what elite means to you. At the very beginning of the call, Alyssa shared with us what it means to her. It's the team aspect, right? And it's just the ability to have the opportunity to share that, not only you, but your team in different opportunities, whether it's, come join the elite team or come hear about the elite team. And it's a team thing, not just a personal thing. So as an action item of that, I want you to really spend some time to really figure out what elite means to you, what being an elite 2015 coach will mean to you, and share that in our group. Okay, not only share that with us, but share that with your team and bring the team into this goal as well. Okay, sound good?
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope that you guys use any of the information and just run forward in your business. Just push ahead. It is so worth the push. Don't give up on yourselves. It's just a short time and you guys can all do this because you guys are all leaders. You showed up today on this call and that means something. So go for a goal, guys. I'm excited. I'll be cheering you guys on along with the rest of the marketing team.